and of course we know Tikualu as well, Angelina. So should be a good match, Tim.
Yeah, actually, I think it's quite a difficult draw, to start in the tournament because most of the players they don't get to play that often together. For example, Alex and Kelly, it's not like they play doubles every week, for example. So they will always have that little bit of rusty between them, probably. So to then draw these two great Indonesian players could be a little bit of a hurdle.
Yeah, I totally agree. Alex was practicing with Kelly just 2 days ago at this venue. That's how she did her practice for her singles match with Alex. So we'll see. It's a good start, though, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. For a second, I was not too sure if the 5 ball would go by the 10. Very good start indeed. And I mean, it's not only Albert who has shown himself in the past. We have seen already quite a bit of Tikwalu in the Pro Billiard Series events. Familiar face, like you mentioned, and there's a reason. If she couldn't make a ball, we probably would have never done commentary on her. So she's definitely very capable. And I think they might play very often together, Mark. They
Yeah,
look like they're dialed in.
the only thing I was thinking of, Tim, is sometimes it's a little bit of a mismatch when you've got a lefty and a righty playing together. You know, the left-hander kind of that shot there, for example, was a little bit of a stretch for Angeline. So this it's an interesting chemistry between the two.
Yeah, they might not even know any different. They might have been playing for the last 5 or 10 years and they're used to it. You cannot always take that into consideration, the lefty righty position, but most of the time you can.
Yeah, but I mean, just look at that. There's no problem there whatsoever, was there? Starting off with a break and run, they've been well at a premium, really, haven't they? Break and runs. There hasn't been too many, mainly down to the break team not working. I don't know how you've found it on your matches, but certainly today the table seems to be breaking a little bit difficult for some reason.
Yeah, I had one of those days yesterday where I felt like everybody was breaking the balls pretty nice, but just nothing really going. And if they finally would make a ball, no position on the next shot. But then earlier today, I've seen Kyle Amoroto break the balls, and I think he might have had one dry break in 2 sets. Was excellent.
Yeah, men's semi-finals will be coming up for you tomorrow, guys, and the final. So we're really looking forward to that. Wu Kun Lin, the only one outside of the Philippines, I believe, Tim, in the final four.
Well, talking about another top player, of course, Wukun Lin. Such a special cueist. Well, they do get another chance for a run out here, Mark.
You can't do anything, Tim, can you? If you're not at the table, if they don't give you a shot, this winner breaks format, if they keep breaking as they are and clearing as they are, it's conceivable that Kelly and Alex could sit there for a whole set. They will break first in the second set.
Maybe a little bit too much angle on the 3 ball to draw straight over for the 4. Can he possibly play for the short side to play the 4 in the top right corner? No, he's playing the 3 ball in the bottom left, I feel like. No, it's called the side pocket. Ooh. That might have worked out just fine, Mark. That was very strange. He miscued, still made the three, and I think they're on the bank.
Well, if you're miscuing them and still making them, then your luck's in.
10 seconds.
Safety, I think, Tim. Well, a chance.
Yeah, not the best safety shot from Tikualu, and this is the first shot for Kelly Fisher in this match. Long four ball, has to stun the cue ball around the 9 and the 10. Very sensitive on the speed to hold it on the left side of the 5, and I think they've ran too far. So safety on the 9.
Cut off both side rails, Tim. It's going to be at least one up and down rail, maybe more. Oh, perhaps he can get through to it.
Well, he might be curving, or maybe a lot of spin on the ball, possibly, but yeah, I like the idea. That was very difficult to do, though. I had to thin the balls like perfectly, and then make sure you still hit the rail. Yeah, let's see if they take on the cut. It's a thin one, but with the 6 ball in front of the corner, I might just go completely aggressive here. I mean, they're looking at playing safe, but could they not go for the cut?
Well, my first thought was it's gone too far. I think it's playing the double, the bank shot, but purely safety, I think. Maybe leave themselves the jump if it does go. And that's good. We'll be calling the 6 here, Tim.
Yeah, I gotta say the cue ball is quite close to the 10, so I'm not expecting the jump cue.
10 seconds.
Especially when it makes it so difficult. Have to elevate extremely to even get the cue ball over the 10. So they are kicking. With a full hit on the 5, a lot of good things can happen on the 6. But still gotta get the full hit on the 5. So ball in hand for Alex. Still need a good shot from 7 to the 9. Could either play the 9 in the top left corner or the left side pocket, but my preference would definitely be the 9 in the top left.
Oh, this is tough now. What a shot. What a shot. Big prize money on offer here as well. 30,000 to the winners.
Yeah, couldn't really do much more with the cue ball there, Mark. Had to leave Kelly a cut on the 10. This one to level the score. Yeah, nicely done. Excellent shot from Kelly.
Apologies, guys, if you are getting some bad audio from the arena. Ours should be absolutely fine. We're just checking that it's a little bit fuzzy on the venue sound. I miscue again there, Tim. That was some shot, that wasn't it?
Yeah, you don't see that too often. But I have to say, they really had a good chance there for a run out. But yeah, after that miscue pot on the 3 ball, basically everything went against them. Against Team Indonesia here.
First look at the break of Kelly Fisher. Normally a pretty big breaker in the women's game.
Well, I would say this is a pretty big break. Nice square hit. A lot of movement on the balls. Making the 1. And look at his shape on the 2. A little bit of maneuvering from the 3 to the 4 and then 4 to 5. But overall, I think they would be very happy to get this layout.
Does she go inside, Tim, here with two rails inside, right spin?
Yes.
Or does she just come out inside, yeah?
Yeah, I would say inside, because that also gives you a natural angle to get to the left side of the 5. It's just the arrival just guarantees you angle. Still, worst thing that could happen on the 5 is to get straight. Definitely would like to have some angle for Kelly. Yeah, let's see, is she going to play inside spin, maybe in between the 6-9 2 rails? No, nice deliberate bump on the 9. Perfect shape now on the 6 ball.
Well, Alex has already suffered one defeat to an Indonesian, Derin Satoris, who I know you just commentated on, Tim. He's some player, that kid, isn't he? Knocked Alex out of the men's open.
Yeah, quite interesting to see in the men's main event that most of the top players from Europe, they seem to not make it very far. I think we've had one player in the last 16, Julian Siradia.
Yeah, commentated on Julian's match first game today. He came up against Wu Kun Lin, and we all know how good Wu Kun Lin is. Just such a pure cueist. Just always enjoy watching him. Julian gave him a good game, though. Had chances in both sets. But these are looking very good at the moment, aren't they? As good as Angeline and her partner did. Albert in the first rack. Done to them 2 racks in return. Great standard, Tim.
Yeah.
format. Same format as the singles. It's best of 3 sets, races to 4, winner breaks. Exactly the same.
Yeah, I haven't seen too much from Kelly yet in the Women's Open. Only one match where she struggled quite a bit. That was together with you, Mark. But she's definitely looking more settled right now on this TV table.
Yeah, I totally agree. She said to me last night, messaged me just to say that she struggled with the conditions just a little bit, and she had a really bad headache. She suffers from bad headaches, and she had one during her game yesterday. That's what she told me.
Yeah, this time though, no luck on the break. And it's so interesting. Like I mentioned, Kala Moroto making a ball almost every time on the break. And I think he had shape on his next shot maybe once. Now in this match, every time they've been breaking the balls, the opponent or the player that broke the balls and made one, they get something after the break. So it's like completely different than the match I've seen. What is it? Maybe an hour ago, an hour and a half ago.
Why does that happen though, Tim? What's the cause of that? How can 2 matches be so different on the same table within an hour of each other? I mean, is there
Well,
any
yeah,
explanation?
to get the shape, I actually think like in some games, or depending if you have a magic rack like a template, you can actually break to get the shape. But in this hand rack format, I would say, well, the balls just dictate what you're gonna get. I mean, you have to break the balls as best as you can, so control the cue ball and nice energy and make a ball. But how often have you seen those videos where people make 5, 6, 7 balls on the break and then no shot on the following ball? There's just, yeah, that's just, you need that little bit of luck.
Back in amongst them again though here. So good chance to level things up again. It looks perfect, Tim. 2 rail position for the 7 into the same pocket.
Oh, looked like it might have been a little bit speedy, but it stopped right in time.
We won't be complaining, Tim, if this standard continues for the rest of the match, will we? Very enjoyable.
Yeah, I have to say I've seen now quite some Indonesian players in action too. If you look at the men's event, like you said, 128 players, and Darren Satoris, a young player from Indonesia, got all the way to the quarterfinal. I think it mainly also has to do with the home crowd. I think they're more comfortable. If you look at this pairing here too, like they don't really look choppy. They're pretty smooth around the table. They have a nice energy going on. Now, of course, they're not always going to play perfect shots. I'm more saying it feels like they're really feeling comfortable in their home conditions. And that could be a slight advantage, maybe, if you weigh it off against Kazakis and Fischer.
Yeah, on this match, I agree with you. I did notice, though, it had the adverse effect, I noticed that a lot of the Filipino players were watching Carl Amarotto. I saw Jeffrey DeLuna and his brother in the audience, along with some other Filipino players. There was big applause for both players. So, yeah, it's an interesting talking point. We are 2-2.
Well, like always, I'm quite sure most of the people, they would just assume that, for example, Alex and Kelly, they were just going to win easy, or, you know, would be an easy match for them. But especially playing doubles, there's so many more factors to it.
Yeah, we're finalists in one of the tournaments and winners in the last doubles tournament. So they have won. They know how to win. Oh, that's unfortunate. I think the white was always on its way, though. Let's have another look. Oh, he got kissed, didn't it, by the 7 and then by the 2. Can't control that. Although it did lose the cue ball, Tim, slightly.
Yeah, hit the break a little bit thin on the other side, but then still doesn't deserve 2 kisses into the corner, especially not at a moment like this, because, well, this is to get on the hill first. So it's basically, if Alex and Kelly can solve the 1-3-4, should be a huge chance with them breaking.
Angle looks good to just draw straight up the table, I believe.
Looks like he's playing a little bit of a stun forward, though. So I think they had the angle where they were always going to run into the 6. He was still trying to beat the 6 ball there, but he hasn't. And now a little bit of a cut for Kelly. Difficult one to hold the cue ball as well.
Needs a kind kiss. Well, it could have been worse, Tim. This is okay, isn't it?
Yeah, especially with where the 7 ball is. Doesn't really have to do too much besides pocketing and, well, gotta make sure he doesn't land behind the 9 ball though, but that's it.
Very reliable cueist, Alex Kazakis. Always tries his heart out. Masters champion. Who can forget the Masters title he won? Before that, he was remembered for the man that almost won the Masters against David Al-Qaedi, the famous bank on the 9. Everyone forgot about that, apart from me, of course, when he beat Shane Van Boening.
Yeah, I think that was one of the best comebacks in pool, actually. Losing the final 1 year in a heartbreaking way, and then the next year, I think he whitewashed Shane as well in the final.
Yeah, he
That
did.
was that was a super turnaround for his career as well.
I think he's played most of, if not all, the Pro Billiard series when his calendar has allowed him to. I know he's played in a lot of them. I know he's won one as well.
Yeah,
So they
and
will be on the hill first, Tim, Alex and Kelly.
Campbell and the fifth back to Kazakis St. Kelly.
yeah, Kazakis, who also won that Pro Billiard Series title in dramatic fashion against Badr Alawadi in Wisconsin. Deciding shootout went sudden death. That was just a nail biting.
I'm biting my nails just thinking back to it, Tim.
Well, gotta say, this one also looked like it might be nail biting time for me. Because I gotta say, the two players from Indonesia, they really started off nicely in this match. We could see a lot more from them.
Yeah, nothing down again. Once again, Tim, a look at the one for the Indonesians.
Yeah, no clusters. I feel like the table is really not laying too horrible. Needs a little bit of a shot on the two. Just depends on what kind of angle, but well, I have to say, also, I feel like Janawata is now giving her spot on shapes too once in a while, which makes the run out so much nicer in general. Just gotta make sure to get a nice little angle on the four to get to the five ball. That's some traveling to do.
Looks nice and straightforward for where I'm sat. Oh, this has gone. Oh, it's okay.
Well, I wasn't really thinking about playing the five in the center. It did look like the six might have been in the way, but as you can see from that view, the five does go. Makes things a lot easier as well for the run out. Now just gotta make sure because he's floating forward not to get straight on the six. It's a little bit of a shot. Could happen very easily.
Jeff DeLuna and Cesca Centino in action. They've just gone a set up. What a partnership that is. A couple of left-handers there, Tim, to think about.
Ooh. That 6-ball used everything. It relied on the gravity. I'll still have to say, I mean, she was saying maybe to shoot the 8 in the top corner, but I would say the 8 goes in the side, right, Mark?
Yeah, I think it does. Pia Filler and Dennis Grabet, one set up in their match as well. That's a pretty good pairing, Tim, I think. Some interesting pairs. Jasmine Ocean and your good friend Marco Toicha are 1-1 in games in their first set.
Yeah, there's quite some strong teams in this 32-team field. It will be difficult to pick a winner once again, and I've said that before in the men's event, and I'm quite sure if I picked a player, I probably would have been wrong.
Yeah, myself included. You still can't pick one either. Would be a good final. I'm just saying, no disrespect to any of the others, but I'd love to see Wu Kun Lin in the final for obvious reasons. And him against Carl and Marotto wouldn't be a bad match, would it? But of course, all the last 4 left in, anyone with equal chance of winning it. 6-ball struggling in there, wasn't it? Just decided to plop at the last second. Breaking for the first set then. Here we go. Angeline Tikailu. Oh, look at the 1-ball. Look at the 9-ball. Look at the 2-ball, Tim.
Yeah, what can you say? Nice break. This is what I meant. Like, what could she have possibly have done different or better? She's already playing the cut break purposely. Slight cut break, nice impact, making 2 balls on the break. I would not know what to do better to get something on the 2, or at least not yet. So if someone has the answer, please let me know.
Or maybe if she had have parked the cue ball in the centre of the table, she'd have a look at the 2. That's about all you can say, though. But with kisses and stuff, you never know. So I certainly don't know the answer to that. If the break guru doesn't know, nobody knows.
Yeah, I just think it's very difficult to park the cue ball in the center of the table whilst breaking from the side rail. That is, yeah. Like I said, if someone knows, just feel free to send me a message.
His email is Tim de Ruyter, breakguru@gmail.com.
Now, what a huge chance for Alex and Kelly to get the job done still in this opening set. Not ideal shape on the 3-ball, though. I think he might have landed just with that slight angle to where if he plays draw, he might go towards the 8-5.
Always a very interesting concept, just because men and women think differently as well. They're wired differently. Did well there, Tim.
Yeah, did very well. Now it's time to get back online. Just needs the perfect pace to get to this 5-ball, and I think she not only played a perfect pace, she also played it to where Alex was always going to have that slight angle towards the long rail. This is some good stuff right here. Imagining the pressure too, don't forget. In these short races, the pressure, well, is just very big in general. I mean, 1 or 2 mistakes can cost you the set.
Yeah, no second chances either. This has been a good rack and a good set as well for both teams. Either could have won it. 3 balls away though from Kazakis and Kelly. Needs it to run a bit. Yeah, he's not happy with that. Okay, still on to the side. But he's going for perfection. Oh, anything can go wrong there. If full ball contact on that could have been different. But it's worked out just fine. So the first set, Tim, going to Alex and Kelly.
Yeah, at times you can see players take breaks during the sets just to make sure to come back sharp.
Second set, first round.
But I actually think we might be fine here to continue. Both teams won't be feeling too disappointed to lose. I think they both played a great set. Would definitely not try to kill that rhythm.
And it will be Kelly and Alex breaking in this second set first. And then winner breaks from there on in. All down. How's the 2, Tim? Oh, look at this 3 ball. Wow, there ended a little cluster around the cue ball there. I'm wondering if it's blocked. Oh, it's horrible cueing, even if they can see it, Tim, isn't it?
Well, and it might be one of those shots to where if you make the 2, are you even going to get something on the 3 ball? Like it might not even be worth it.
Corner.
But she's now looking at making the 2 and then playing the 3 thin into the 6. And the cue ball back to the bottom. Short rail, maybe behind the 7.
Oh, that was a lovely little bump as well from the 6 onto the 5, just to make sure the job was done. What's the escape route here then, Tim?
Yeah, might have to go 3 rails. And then still it's tough because the 8 is quite in the way to do that. Or,
Second.
oh, well, he might be able to go 2 rails in between. And then probably catch the left side of the 3. That's what he's aiming for. Oh, he's hit it really well. He's hit it really well. Gotta say, unfortunate to leave that slight piece of the 3 ball, but that could have easily. Well, no, from this angle, it looks like he did get the hook. He's hit that so well. Won't be too tough for Alex and Kelly to hit this, though, because they can still go real first. Yeah, such a
Yeah.
pleasure to watch this match so far. I really think both teams are playing some excellent pool.
It was a perfect escape, wasn't it, out of what could have been a very, very tricky hook. Albert Wanata playing a terrific escape there. Oh, it's gone wrong.
Yeah, cue ball was on the rail. Super difficult to even get something on the 4. And I think they've landed not great here, Mark. I don't think it even makes sense to cut the 4 ball into the bottom left.
10 seconds. Extension call.
Unless he's going to bank it, maybe, but I'm not a huge fan of the cut. Has to play with a lot of inside. Or the bank, but the bank is definitely all in.
How about banking the 4 in behind the 10, Tim? That kind of area. Cue ball over towards the 9 kind of area.
Well, the angle is just not so nicely. I think he's called the bank. Or yeah, he has called the bank. A little bit of a two-way there. Actually, this is interesting to see. He's disappointed because he knows he's left a 1-rail escape. And the cue ball could run into the 6 and be behind the 5. But I did like the two-way option there. Oh, he might have hit it too full. I think the 4 is on. Had to just catch it a little thinner on the side. Run the cue ball softly into the 6. That's where the perfect hook would have been, but not this time.
Yeah, a bit of work to do with the cue ball here, though, Tim. 6 doesn't go into this bottom right-hand corner, so he's going to have to come up with something else. Looking at just drawing off the 5 ball here. Just leaving a thinner cut on the 6 ball or the bank.
Yeah, it's tempting because those cuts, especially when you have to play the inside spin, those cuts can be deceiving. But she called the bank. Janawata is actually not too sure if he likes it, so change of plans.
I mean, positional-wise, the bank is much better. Going to have to work the cue ball just a little bit more. Oh, it wasn't as thin as I thought. It was quite thick, wasn't it?
Well, it was mainly to hold the cue ball a bit for the 7. You like to put a little bit of a hit on the ball, and before you know it, you run to where the cut on the 7 is now very steep. So it just adds up a little bit over and over, just like the shape now from 7 to 8.
Doesn't want to be on the rail. Oh, that's just doubled the difficulty. Yeah, just that extra degree of difficulty, Tim, to get up for the 9. She got the 9, but didn't make the 8. Wasn't straightforward.
Yeah, a difficult shot. I mean, it's always
10 seconds.
a testing of how the cueing is on that day, shooting off the rail.
Played that well. So advantage goes to Kelly and Alex after that shot.
Hey, corner. 10 seconds.
Yeah, I was trying to hit it thick enough to push the 8 all up table near the 9, but just slightly too thin. And instantly he knew he was going to leave a shot on for the 8.
Psyching himself up.
10 seconds.
Had an 8 ball like this on the other side of the table in an earlier rack.
Seconds.
Well, friendly little bump.
Yeah, still slightly off angle on the 10.
10 balls. And the first track to Kazakis and Kelly.
But if you look at the cue ball, also played a little bit in a defensive way. Sure, he's guaranteed to make that 10, but you never know. Kazakis and Fischer now leading 1-0 and will be breaking.
Well, I don't know about you, Tim, but I've always visited other countries to have my teeth seen to. It's very expensive in the UK. Either you can go to Turkey, which is very good, or another country that's very well known for having their teeth done is in India. But here's a fact for you. People of Bali, they have their top 6 teeth filed down to stop 6 evil qualities: anger, confusion, desire, jealousy, greed, and even drunkenness. I'd have to be drunk to have my teeth filed, I think.
Oh, yeah, I would think so. And you don't drink anymore, I imagine.
And I don't drink, but I would if I had to have that done, I think.
Yeah, ball in on the break. And then again, well, this time the cue ball slid all the way to the bottom short rail. So to get shape from that position is less likely. And we're back at playing a push out. Are they going to push out for a possible roll up on the 7? What's the plan?
Push up.
I know in some tournaments, Tim, they mic up the players, don't they? I know we had the players mic'd up during the World Teams Championships, I believe it was, in Puerto Rico. But it'd just be interesting to hear how, you know, differently players think about the push out, particularly in that instance. You know, where did Kelly think of pushing and where did Alex think of pushing? Just interesting. They've got it back anyway.
Yeah, I couldn't really see any shot besides indeed one of those roll-ups. Maybe could have tried to hit it slightly thinner to bring the cue ball back behind the 7. It was a difficult position to be in, but definitely they were going to try with the push out.
Carlo Biardo and Seo Sauer have taken the first set in their match. Oh, is that too hard? Very sensitive shot that, Tim.
Well, I've got to say, they've now been playing for like an hour, almost an hour-ish, and it's not easy to keep up such a high level of play for multiple hours. It's just, yeah, well, I've seen that so often with top players, and especially doubles, because at some point you start to play maybe a little bit different rhythm, or the balls are starting to tie up a bit. But you grind. I think that's exactly what's happening right now.
Yeah, happened in a match that I did earlier on today. It was a 2-hour, 40-minute match between Wen Yi and Ai Sun Yu. And it started off okay, but then, of course, as the time went on, the play standard went down, understandably. And it ended up to be a real grind.
Gotta say, though, Alex did run a little bit bad there from 1 to the 2, but Kelly played a really good shot to get them back in line. As you can see, the 5 does go in the top right.
He was trying for a full ball bump and ended up getting half a ball bump. So it meant the cue ball was running a little bit wild. Yeah, not bad from there. Oh, it's
Ooh.
wide. Wow. Didn't think that was going to drop, Tim.
Yeah, gotta say, he did play a really nice space on that, though. To where if he caught it maybe slightly thick or thin, still would drop.
Catching it thin just increased the speed of the cue ball, so it's gone a little bit straighter than they would have liked. But again, good recovery.
Ball and the second break to Kazakis and Kelly.
Yeah, slowly running away with the match. Kazakis and Fischer now 2-0 up. On their way, cruising to win this second set and advance over the winners bracket.
Dennis Graber, Pia Filler won the first set, but they're 3-1 down in the second. Have to be very quick with this rolling scoreboard, Tim. It's running away with me. Your good friend, Jose Alberto Delgado and Anna Riegler, have lost the first set and are 1 rack down to Wan Wangling and partner. Another friend of yours, Marco Teutschert, and Jasmine Ocean are 3-3 in the first set against Awanto and Kenny TC.
Legal break.
Oh, nothing doing again, Tim.
Yeah, and straight in on the one. Stop shot on the one ball is already ideal shape on the two to get moving. And needs the angle on the two anyways to get back up for the red 3 ball. Now, gotta say, this is spread really nice. If you look at how much space there is near the center of the table, not that much could go wrong, as in not getting the shape on the next ball.
Seconds. Extension call.
I feel this is a must-win rack for the Indonesians here. Won't want to go 3-0 down in a set that they must win to survive.
10 seconds.
Yeah, it'd be nice if he could take the next shot as well, being a lefty. There's a fancy pink bridge. Kelly has one exactly the same as that. And Alison Fisher uses the same one. Matches her glove, Tim.
5. Side.
Still, I mean, could choose to play the 5 in the left center or in the bottom left. I mean, both would work. It's just the kind of stroke you like to put on the ball. He was not too scared actually to hit that firm into the side. Now, are they going to get straight onto the 7 to play the short side of the 8? Or will they play a possible 8-9 combination? I think they might have to play the combination. So straight in on the combo would be preferred.
First result, and as you might expect, 2 very quick players, Jeff DeLuna and Cesca Centeno, have won in straight sets over Jocelyn. And Bahrain, I beg your pardon, I couldn't quite read that. My brain went all fuzzy. Oh, didn't want the 8 to drop, and it didn't. Played it at a good pace.
10 ball, corner.
Yeah, that 8 ball just barely stayed up. That could have been disastrous for them, but it didn't. They're gonna pull one back. Good reply on that dry break.
Yeah, ripple of applause. The dry break, and that's the result.
Full track, I got you back.
Men's single semi-finals will be at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning,
Legal break.
and the final will be at 6 p.m. Plus, in between, we have all the other good stuff. The Women's Open continues, and of course, the mixed pairs also. Lots more to come tomorrow, guys.
Yeah, what to do? They did get to the table with an open shot after a dry break. They seem to like this 1 ball because they're obviously smiling and joking around, but I'm not a huge fan. Best thing he could do is drop it in, maybe soft, bump the 7 and take another long 2 ball. I cannot imagine him shooting to make the 1 ball. Yeah, nice shot there. Very nice shot there.
One, corner.
I think it's part of their success, Tim, the way that they get on. They've got good chemistry together, it looks like. Angeline
10 seconds.
and Albert also have that together. I think it's huge in Scotch doubles that you get on with your partner, play with a smile on your face, having a little chat in the background there as well. Good to see. Oh, great shot. Got away with it, Tim, as well, but no prizes for guessing where the 1 ball's going to be after this shot.
Behind the 2?
Yeah, but we don't win a prize, I'm afraid.
Oh. Well, I might like to nick the 1.
Yeah, play the 1 into the 5, which will hold it behind the 2, and take the cue ball up behind that 4 again, maybe.
Little bit of a risky bump into the 7. How often do you see them catching a piece of the 7 and then scratch straight into the top left corner? But in this case, really has worked
10
out.
seconds.
Nice cover.
Yeah. Or not make a row, Tim, as well.
Yeah.
It was a possibility there. As it is here, but it's okay. Played it well, but sold out, Tim. This is a chance.
Well, gotta say, it's still tricky to travel from the 1 to the blue 2 and then to get from the blue 2 to the red 3 ball. You need the perfect angle on the 2, and the 8 is a little bit in the way to get that angle. And if you go to the right side, did he get there? I don't think he has the ideal angle. And the reason why I'm saying this is the 3 ball doesn't go in the top right.
Are you
She's
sure?
still playing low. I'm quite sure it does not go, but she did
Yeah.
land straight on the 2, so that was a great shot from Alex there to get to the 2 ball. And that really opens the rack.
Yeah, he does put a lot of thought into the cue ball, doesn't he, Alex? Very, very good positional player. Very, very good. One of the best in the world, I would say. A fierce competitor as well. As is his fellow countryman, Dimitris Lukatus. Now, I did see his name on the list. I think he's playing with Wei Xiu Chen in the doubles. They're not playing right now, but I know they are playing together. Christina Zlatova as well with one Carlos Exposito. That's an interesting team also. They're one set up, Tim, and 3-0 in the second set. So Christina and one Carlos going very, very well. Christina speaks fluent Spanish. She lived there for a while. So no language barrier. Meanwhile, Kelly and Alex are carving their way through this, Tim.
Yeah, they have played a great first set, especially with how well Albert and Angeline came out of the gate. But I gotta feel like they're looking very solid now in the second set. Probably, well, possibly too solid to handle for the Indonesians. I mean, it has been either a dry break and then a clearance or a break a run so far. Good defense from both.
They're going 3 rails here. Played this well. It's exactly as Alex wanted it. That's the picture he drew for us all.
Yeah, to get on the hill. Perfect on the 10.
Yeah, another exquisite rack there from the reigning champions. I'm actually liking the team shirts as well, Tim.
Yeah, I'm assuming they're gonna play more often together. When I seen those shirts, I had this spontaneous idea.
Yeah, I think they'll be hard to break up as a partnership, that's for sure.
Legal break.
For Rayla, Tim is in. Got to look at the one, possible 1-8, Tim.
Yeah, there is indeed a possible 1-8 combination. Now, it is laying slightly off angle, so it's not straight in by any means. And as you can see, still have to play a slight cut on the 8 as well. But I think it can come with a very high reward. So I wouldn't be surprised if they take it on. The 1 will move slightly towards the top short rail and the cue ball will go to the left. In some way,
10 seconds.
he is not too sure about playing it. And I can imagine if he plays a safety, banking the 1 out and leaving the cue ball behind the 2, I can imagine.
Yeah, I think that's the more prudent shot here, to be honest. Safety, why risk? It did come with high reward, but it was high risk as well to play the combo.
Well, they certainly did doubt it because they were calling the combination in the corner. Oh, I don't think he's gonna like what's coming up next.
Ten seconds.
Oh, it's overhit.
Oh, I'm not sure. Well, I think it might be on still. Especially if they use right spin, it's gonna throw the 1 ball more to the left. So in that case, they could strike the 1 ball thicker, and it still would go. Ooh. Just wondering, I'm guessing she was playing for the 2 ball in the bottom right. Is he now queuing over the 4, or is he still able to drop it in the side and be not so hampered?
Yeah, it was awkward. I was just going to say, Tim, that angle looked awful from behind. Yes, it's you, Alex.
Extension fault.
Of course, you must go in the right order, otherwise it's a foul, ball in hand.
Side.
Cool there, 30-second extension to have a bit of a chin wag about it.
Yeah, well, the thing is, did the 2 ball move out enough to where you can still play it to the corner? Or do you only have the shot to the side? I think that's the only shot he has. And he has to go around the 10 here. Small window. A low left spin.
Oh, what a shot.
Doesn't want to be queuing over the 9. I think it's going to land a little bit ugly.
Well, it's a cue to the side of the 9. Just, Tim, just. Got a cue straight here. It's looking ominous now, isn't it? For the Indonesians. Tikualu and Vanuatu played a great first set.
Yeah, especially now. Now they're like so wide in the open, and all the positions they have to play. Like they have plenty of space, and almost any angle would work on the 7, 8, well, and the 9. Either straight or slight angle, doesn't matter also. I have to say, strong opening performance from Kazakis and Fischer. Honestly, really not a bad performance either from the Indonesians. Januata and Tikualu. But just came up short against a world-class couple. Well, pair, as in players, not as a real couple.
Well, they actually were known as the married couple on tour, but Alex, of course, has recently married his sweetheart, and he has twin daughters with his wife. Very cute they are as well, and this has been a very, very cute performance from these two.
Jumbo, right, set it, match to Kazakis and Kelly.
And in goes the 10. So Kazakis and Fischer, they advance over the winner's bracket, and Albert Januata and Angeline Tikualu, they will have to go over the loser bracket, win 2 more matches to probably make it to the last 16 in the mixed doubles event. Thank you all.